It's all you, Michael.
Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depends where you are joining us from in today's webinar with Seth Oge Anyam Professional Overview. In today's webinar, I would love to read out some of the professional overview of Seth Ogio Anyam. I guess I'm pronouncing it well.
It's Ogo, Ogo, Ogo.
Ugo, okay. Seth is a project management professional and a co-founder and executive officer of Bountiful Technology Company Limited and the executive director of Bountiful STEM Educational Foundation, providing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, artificial intelligence, robotics, and computing education across Ghana and West Africa. He holds a master's degree in public administration and information system. He is an expert in emerging technology, a global educational technologist, product manager, and a kindergarten taught 12th grade STEM educator. He led the first Ghana Global STEM and Computing Education Summit, organized robotics teams for VAS World Championship, and received the 2019 Lowell Benson Lifetime Service Award. We want to hand over to Seth to tell us more about himself because it's good to hear from the host. Seth, we hand over to you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Dave, Kate, everyone. I'm humbled to be here this evening. I want my webinar to be more interactive, but there's one thing that I've learned is that you should always have a document to guide you throughout. I will just go straight into my presentation. Let me know if you can see my screen, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay, so the title of my webinar is Beyond Boundaries, and I will share some stories about myself and where I've been and how I've been able to get where I am today. There is this picture you see here indicate a lot. That is Mount Everest, which I hope one day I'll be able to climb. And this is just telling you that there is a lot to be achieved in this life and beyond. This is my family. This picture is so important to me. If you see the picture down here, that is when I graduated from BYU in 2016 in the master's program. And then if you see up here, it is, you see my wife up there. She also graduated from BYU. She was one of the first BYU pathway students in Africa. She did all her program online and then was able to graduate with Bachelor of Science in Public Healthcare Administration. And then you can see these guys were very young, 5 years when I was at BYU. And now they are big boys in the young youth when their mother graduated. So this is very important in the sense that the journey for education is not just fixed. You need to continue to improve yourself. And it's important that for us, education has been so important to us. In Liberia, partly in the early 80s. And I was in Liberia during the Civil War. So we left Liberia during the war in 1993 when the Civil War broke 3 years after that. Actually, my grandfather left Ghana in the Gold Coast in 1930s as a building contractor, built most of the schools in Liberia, the AIM investment. So during the war, for 65 years, my grandfather lived in Liberia. So literally, he was a Liberian. My cousins and aunties are still living in Liberia. I just came back. So you can see the picture that I have at the back there is my high school, the Ganta United Methodist, to be precise. It's in the northern part of Liberia. This is where I went to my elementary school, and this is where everything started, actually. And then I joined the church at 16. I never served a mission, but it was very when we came to Ghana, couldn't speak Tree, and then we went to church, a Presby church, and one day I decided to just go fetch water. We're in a village, a typical village in the eastern region, Bomosu area, and then I heard these guys singing in English early morning at 5 a.m. Around 6, and then I tried to find out who were there, and then these guys were having seminary actually. And then I said, wow. And when I took the stanza, I took the hymn book they are reading. I saw the stanza. It was just like the United Methodist hymn book I used when I was in Liberia. So I said, hey, can I join you guys? They said, oh, come. So I went to seminary for a whole year without being a member of the church and graduated as a seminary student. Fast forward, I went to the Polytechnic. I did civil engineering. My first love in life was to become top engineer doing structure work. But all of a sudden, working for the insurance company, I found out that I have more passion in technology. And then I have to study on my own to do most of the things I did in technology. And fortunately, went back to school and did a degree in information systems and worked in IT for almost 13, 14 years. And then went back to school at BYU. Wanted to change something. I still have a passion to change the world that people will say, and then went to BYU, studied an MPA. Anyone who do an MPA in BYU, you want to change the world. We go out there to serve. So it was something that I fell in love with, and then went to work for the church in headquarters. I was a project manager for all the international areas of the church, supporting Meeting House Technology and ICS. And then fast forward, the church brought me to Africa in 2018 to set up the African Oral History Project, which it was something no one has done. I'll be able to set that up, and today the project is going across, I think, almost 17 countries. Then I went back to work for the UN, set up a lab in Benin for 18 months. And after the project was over, Fairtrade International hooked up with me that I should run their projects as a global IT project manager for all the 3 continents, that is Africa, Latin America, and Caribbean, then Asia Pacific. So I live in all those countries remotely, almost all the time in different time zones, and it's kind of, but most what I want to talk about today, mainly I started my career as an ICT teacher in a high school. So after school, it's not that I just went in all these nice jobs, but I started as a teacher. And I will encourage every young man that if you are looking for a job, the first thing, go look for a teaching job, and everything will work out for you, because it's build your confidence, you learn to work with people, and you learn to work. And then I set up some different non-profits and a business that we've been doing STEM program. I think Michael just talked a little bit about that. I've lived in 6 cities. I've been a refugee, one of those countries. 2 of them, actually. I live in Guinea as a refugee. And then we moved to Danale, which is in Cote d'Ivoire, as a refugee. And then we were repatriated by the Catholic Relief Services to Ghana in 1993. So all of this has given me wonderful experiences in life, and taught me to take every opportunity seriously, because there were times we went without food for days and weeks, and there was time we were close to death, that we know that the next day we won't be alive. But all of that provided experience. At age 8, I remember in a refugee camp, we need to go out to the township to work for the people, maybe fetch water just to get something. And all of those experiences, appreciate that. Why I think I was attracted to an MPA, to be able to make the world a peaceful place and provide for opportunity for people. And then fortunately, I married my sweetheart in high school. Selena, that I show you, and then we have 2 boys, Spencer and Sheldon. Now, this is my journey. I'm now going to talk you through my journey. I've been throughout my education. I work in education, in IT and insurance, and then did about 11 years of that. Then 5 years of it, I've been manager in IT as well, in international development. And then that move again, in the last 10 years, I've been around still in IT and consulting and education as a co-founder. But all of these periods have not been just easy. I've been learning, trying to get a mentor, serving in the church. Most of my IT skill, I would tell you that it was built through volunteering in the church. My first visit to the United States was when we were testing a gospel library. But then the gospel library was just a Book of Mormon that we were putting on just not even smartphone. These were feature phones. And then I worked with the engineers in Riverton doing that. And this gave me a lot of exposure with international skills in terms of IT. And that also helped me in my career, because every time I was ahead of my colleagues, because I worked with these top IT people at the church. They were all volunteering at the time. And those days we have what we call the LDS Tech community, LDS Tech, where we every month we have a webinar using Skype and work on projects and tests. Because today we have the gospel library in everyone's pocket. At that time, it was just in the infant stage. So that has influenced. Now, I want us to, I need three volunteers to answer this question. 3 volunteers. So if you, my question here is, what is your dream job 15 years from now? So I need a volunteer. You can just type in the chat, or you can raise your hand and just speak out. What is your dream job 15 years from now? I need three volunteers to do that. Yes. Michael, you can monitor the chat for me and let me know. Yeah, Jonah, go ahead.
Ezenwa said teacher, cyber security specialist.
Okay. Okoro.
Yeah, Ezenwa Okoro said teacher. Jonah,
okay.
Jonah raised his hand. Jonah, you can talk.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jonah. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm very excited to be here in this class to learn from your expertise. What I would like to do, my dream job in 15 years is to build and finance and successfully manage the tallest building on the African continent.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Israel.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Israel, the last. Okay, so I will. Yeah, you can just type and then we go. Yeah, go ahead, Israel. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. My dream job is to become very good in cybersecurity, to help the world create a very secure tech whereby people don't have access to.
Thank you. So please mute. Okay, thank you. So now do we have any BYU Pathway or online students on this call? I want you to also answer that question. Okay. Then, any BYU. Yeah, so, okay, then all of you are the same. You're all BYU students. So I think I will tell you this. What is your dream job title upon graduation from BYU, or what company you want to work with? I will tell you, when I was graduating from the Polytechnic, I wanted to work at, we had this construction firm in Ghana called Taylors and Sons, which was one of the top construction company. They did a lot, TSEC, yes, that is the name. They did a lot of, they even built a temple. Right? And that was my dream, to become a project manager, to work as a civil engineer in that department and for that company. So every one of us want to what? Want to work in great companies, have titles. But I will tell you this. The first thing you need to know before you think about your job, it is knowing yourself. So how do you know yourself? Most of us, we've done luncheon leaders, we've done the core values and all of that. And even because of member of the church, we know we are all Heavenly Father's children, whether we are child of God or a children of God. So we have that. But the first basic ingredients of professional career development is the guiding vision. You must have a vision, and that is what most of you said. You want to be a top cybersecurity, you want to manage a top finance company, you want to be a teacher. All of these are great things that you want to become. But the leader has a clear idea of what he or she wants to do, personally and professionally, and the strength to persist in the face of setback. Unless you know where you are going and why, you cannot possibly get there. So we need, each of us here, I will tell you, I wanted to be a civil engineer. I told you that I studied civil engineering. I did structural works. I was excited about going to site, looking at all of these great things. I knew what I wanted to do, but I will tell you, most of the times you will know what you do, or you may not even know, but it is important you have a vision, a guiding vision to go where you want to go. And when you have that vision, it guides you. It's like we have this hymn, I'll go where you want me to go. It may not be on the mountaintop, right? It may be going to Nigeria and changing the life of the people in Nigeria as a missionary, or teaching pathway class, or just working in international development, helping farmers to be able to have livelihood and better life for and also provide food security. These are some vision. So you, as a professional, or even if you are just graduating for pathway or going on online classes or in your master's or your MA, you need to know that. And then this is an inscription on the Greek wall in Greece that says that know yourself was the inscription over the Oracle of Delphi, and it's still the most difficult task any of us face. We need to know ourselves. If you don't know yourself, you won't be able to go where you want to go. So it's very, very important. You examine what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, who do you need to talk to improve. Now I'm in pathway, I may be on the second block, or I just finished pathway. I'm not doing my online ensign, or I'm at the BYU online program, Idaho Online. You need to know what are the classes to take. I will share with you, when I went to BYU, I came from the industry and I knew exactly what I wanted. I will tell you, in the MPA program, I can tell you I was a rare breed, because I took the classes that MPA students didn't take. I was doing corporate finance. I was doing data mining, which is IS class. I was doing web development, mobile app. So, and then business economics, social entrepreneurs, innovation. And these were, when I went to the department, I told them, I want to work in international development. I'm coming from IT and insurance. I've been 12 years of my life in insurance. I've been in life insurance, I've been in general insurance, and I've been in insurance brokerage. From an IT technician to assistant head of IT to head of IT to group head of IT. So I came to I said I needed a skill that I can go work in international development. But I still want to get more other skills in IT as well, data analytics skills. So I took data mining class. I took corporate finance class, which was a PMBA class, and I took how do you call it? Behavior economics, which was in the economics department, and just to make sure that when I leave with my skill, with what I lack, I will be able to excel when I get into international development. And when I went to work for the church, and then I start to see, I did evaluation, I did project management, and all of these things prepared me to what? Because I knew these are skills I needed that I didn't have, that will help me become very successful in where I want to go. Now, majority of students seeking a career change. Now, there is a professor at BYU called Jeff Thompson. He taught me organization building. He's done a lot of research on what we call what is your calling. And then when you go to BYU, the MPA program, in his class, the first semester or first week, he asks you to write what you want to become. And then at the end of the semester, he asks you to write another essay, and you will find out that what you wrote when you started the program would change completely when you are completing his class. So I'm saying that because even in that class, just 3 months, or that's 4 months in a class, you have changed, your perception has changed, the way you think have changed, and then you say, oh, no, I don't think I want to be what I've written. But at least you have a guidance. So majority of us in our lifetime, we will change our career. I have been in IT, I've been in program management, I've been a teacher, and I'm still teaching. I love that. That is one of the things I really love doing, working with young people. 3 years after graduation, majority of your class will have changed job, and it's a fact. From the time, let's take for example, the time I completed civil engineering in 2004 to now, I will tell you I've changed so many jobs with different titles. IT manager, IT analyst, IT support, and then you come back, they call you data, cybersecurity expert, quality and assurance. You have all these titles, and then still you say to ask yourself, okay, I'm going back to do a master's again, or I'm going to do a PhD, and I want to be in academia. I want to be researching, right? So 3 years after your graduation, even after Pathway or after your BY, you find out that most of your classmates will change jobs. All what you guys have listed, 3 years from now, I will tell you that most of you will be saying something else. Oh, I wanted to be a teacher. Now, no, I think I can run my own business, or I want to start my own school. So you can see that will happen. Now, the question to consider is this. Is there too much emphasis in the classrooms in preparing students for the job they may have 10 to 15 years later? What about the discussion about jobs you almost certainly have upon graduation? So that is what the BYU Pathway comes about, right? Those who have done BYU Pathway, now you have certificate program you can take so that you know that you don't have to wait 10 years to become an IT manager or 15 years to become a pro. You can take a certification program now in project management and start working on developing projects, or you can take a class in web development and start building that web so that you become that software developer or the system developer you want to become. So this is changing. But if you go to the business school, you go to MPA, everything they're doing, they are teaching you all the resources, all the skills you need to excel. But most of the time, the job you need, you may get it in 10 or 15 years. And you should know that. So Pathway students, you are so much fortunate. We have leaders that have vision, and the prophet that guides the Pathway program that have helped us to come up with certification programs, and then you are able to get those skills ready for the job market. Now, so it is important that we look at achieving our potential. It takes time, training, and preparation. For you to become a seasoned professional, time, training, and preparation. Remember, most of us there is no shortcut in life. Brothers and sisters, we need to pay our dues. You need to learn the trade. You need to learn the skill. So there is no shortcut to preparing for leadership or profession, right? So we need to develop that skill layer by layer. That is what we call precept upon precept. There a little there, and then you are able to crystallize your skill, which is very much important, right? Polishing one's gift requires the tumbling of experience and the gift of great discipline. So the key word here is discipline. You need to be disciplined. You need to take those classes. People think that going to do Pathway is a shortcut. Okay, you didn't do well in high school or somewhere you want to go to Pathway, and then you get a Pathway, it is not easy. You need to sit down, you need to turn in your papers, you need to work hard, you have projects to turn in, you have research papers to write, and all of that. So you need to be disciplined. And then you need to put in the time to polish your gift. And it's important. As you remember, in Luke chapter 2, verse 52, in that scripture, the Apostle Luke was speaking that Jesus Christ increased the word, wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. This is important. As we are doing all these careers, I want to build this empire of, I want to become the best IT auditor, or I want to become the best cybersecurity. Whatever you want to become, remember, the Savior himself went through that process. But the most important part of it, he increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. So don't just look at your career goal and forget about spiritual things. Remember, the Spirit of God is intelligence. So for us to be like him, we need to acquire those intelligence. We need to put in the time, we need to study, just like you study your scriptures. You need to study both by working and by faith, and then you will be able to succeed. Now, for us to get to where we want to get, right? For us to build that career we need, there are 3 principles I'm going to teach, I'm going to share with you that has helped me throughout my life. And those principles, one, the first one is having a clear destination. Where do I want to go? Those who, if you want to go to Lagos, you don't make friends with people who want to go to Enugu, right? Your friends should be people who want to go to Lagos, so that you can have this, you can start discussing about Lagos. Or you want to go to the United States, you don't start talking to people who are thinking about, oh, let's go to Akwa Ibom or Asaba. So you need to know, you need to have clear destination. 2, you need to what? You need to have a learning environment, and we'll take each of that into details. And then you have a right attitude, and this will give you what we call pursuing your excellence, becoming who you are. And that foundation of good early choices and experiences will help you for your future, your career now and for the future. So we will take each of that and be able to discuss that. Clear destination. The first choice, or first choose your destination. Choose a career you will fall in love with. There is no leadership without passion. This is true. There is no leadership without passion, right? So we had this discussion earlier on today that we talk about the various ingredients you need to become successful, right? So one, you need to have a clear destination. Where do you want to go? And then you need to fall in love with that. We find out that a lot of people who have find themselves in certain job because, oh, as for Ghana in Africa, there is no job. That is why I'm teaching. Oh, there is no job. There's a guaranteed job when I become a nurse. And then when you go and see these nurses at the hospital, they are so much frustrated, and then they will literally kill you because they don't have passion for that. I had a classmate. She went to a medical school. Her dream was never to become a doctor, but her father wanted her to become a doctor, and everything. And she went to the medical school. She became a dentist. But I will tell you today, she is not practicing dentistry. She is managing business. She went back to do MBA and then forget about all of that. Why? Because she really had passion to run her own business, to be able to run things for herself. And then she stopped. She spent all these years in school, and then only took 10 to just let it go, right? So choose a career you fall in love with. There is no leadership without passion. Now consider the lifestyle implication of your career choices carefully and in every step of the way. It is important. I will tell you, I wanted to be a civil engineer, but I never knew that being a civil engineer, you need to be out a lot on the field. The dust and everything, the sun and all of that. And I cannot stand dust. I'll be sneezing just like crazy, right? But you can find out that this is something I thought I really wanted. But the lifestyle for that, being in the field, on the sun, on construction site, having all this heavy machinery going, a crane, all of that, it wasn't something that I think I would like. Fortunately for me, I found myself in an insurance company as an evaluator. Property, sent me out to do property. And then I started finding that when I come, I have to work on a lot of IT, do all this data stuff. Then I found out that, oh, I think I love working with computers. I love fixing stuff. I think I should be thinking about taking classes or learning programming and all of that. But that is very, very important. So as you consider your career, make sure that you look at the lifestyle implication of your career and choose that carefully every step of the way. Number 3, pick your role models and mentor as early as you can. Most of us don't have role models. You just wake up, you want to be an engineer, and you don't even understand what an engineer, who in your neighborhood or who in your church or your community that could be a model that, oh, this is my role model. I think I want to be an engineer. I want to be like or I want to be a doer like Eda Roper to be able to make the world a better place. So how do I want to get a mentor like him to be able to tell how is he doing all of these great things, and how do I prepare for such opportunity, right? So you need to get a mentor, you need to have role models, and then consider the compensation implication of your choices and life accordingly. Do you want to be living in a very big house, nice neighborhood, right? Or do you like me being in a little farm in a little corner and living your dream? You need to look at all of that. And all of these things come with the compensation, the benefit that you get on the job. So all of these things, you need to be able to look at them before you move on. It's very, very important. So the rules of business aren't like writing a 10 paper in college. Organizing isn't a guarantee for explosion. It is a best practice. Copying successful people and their ideas, emulating them and improving upon them is a strategy we shouldn't be embarrassed about. It is important. I do that a lot. Yes, I always look at the best guys. One of my favorite author or management leader is Clay Christensen. How do you measure your life? That this disruptive innovation. Or these people he's one of those have read this book, and I had the privilege during my time at BY. He came to speak, and then it was like a dream come true. So try to learn from such people. Try to work hard, be humble, respect people. If your role model is that, right? And then all these great men I have seen, one of my favorite right now is the general young man president of the church, Steve Lunt, a very good man, very quiet, humble, and you see him, he's always trying to make a difference in the life of people. So get a role model that will also prepare you to be able to be successful. Copy what they do, good things they are doing. How are they making all the difference in the world? How are they, talk to them, reach out. Maybe you may not even have some of your mentors close to you. Go on LinkedIn. Look, you want to be a cybersecurity expert. Who is on LinkedIn that you're talking to? You reach out to someone in Ghana, in Nigeria. I know there are a lot of guys in Nigeria doing great job in software development. How can you reach out? So you go on LinkedIn. You want to work for PwC or you want to work for the church. You need to check who are those, in which area are they working that you are interested in, right? Learning environment is very, very important. This is very, very important. The next is that where you start is very important. It is very, very important, right? Behold, if you read Matthew chapter 3, verse 13, verse 3 to 8, it says that, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and some fell upon stony places where they had no much earth. And forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some in 100-fold, some 64, and some 34. This is important. I will tell you, this is very, very important where you start your career, the environment you learn in. Most of us, sometimes we want to start big, want to work for the PwC, the KPMG from the beginning, or we want to work for Microsoft. There is an opportunity to work in a startup that will pay you less. And that will help you to learn all the skills you need to learn, right? So start well in a learning environment, in a very good environment. Get into the right environment early. And I will share this, the Clementine of, there is this great leader, Winston Churchill. He said, every leader needs someone with whom he can let down his hair, confine, complain, and discuss his worst fear and greatest success. This must be your spouse, a friend, or a colleague. But it is unquestionable that a leader is stronger with the support of someone brave enough to tell him when he or she gets it wrong and praise him when he gets it right. For Churchill, his wife, Clementine, who fell in love, was his road. So it's important it's important that you like get someone. That is where the mentor come in. Don't have a friend who always say, "Oh, Seth, you are doing great, man. Seth, you wonderful. Everything is nice." Even if you know everything is not nice, what you are doing is wrong. You should be able to look at it and say, "Look, man, what you are doing won't work. You need to change. You need to." I have friends like that, right? A friend called me the other day and said, "Look, Seth, you're doing all this great thing, man. But there's one thing you need to work on." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "You have too much high expectation for everyone. You need to lower your expectation." So sometimes you get people frustrated because it's like they are breaking your heart or they're letting you down. So you need to change that perception and give everyone the opportunity. No matter if someone has done that before and you feel the person mess up, that doesn't mean everyone going to do that. So, and this person, he's a very good friend here. Alfred is the president of the Management Society Ghana chapter. He told me in my face, and I need to be humble, right? And listen to him. And I'm going to work on that and change. So get someone in your life who, no matter what nice thing you do, or he's able to praise you and tell you, or able to correct you, or she able to tell you. It could be your spouse or your friend. And now to get a good company to work for in your initial career years, even if it pays you less than any other alternative. I will tell you, when I went to work for Ghana Life Insurance, I was an evaluator. And then this is a place where the MD allow everyone, so long you come to the company, he says, we are in the business of insurance, not IT. So if you come in or you're an engineer or whatsoever, you need to learn the business. And they don't pay you for overtime. So, and everyone needs to work hard. And I'll tell you, this is where I learned most of my IT skills, because I will be sent on an assignment, and I will learn from all these experts. We're fortunate we have Africa Alliance that bought us for Nigeria. So I had the opportunity to go to Nigeria a lot, work with all the engineers in Jos, Lagos, and other places, and learn from these guys. And these guys became my best of friends. And they even built my career because they were super at that time in 2004, 2006, 2007. These Nigerians we were far ahead of technology, where we have Africa Alliance, we have all these insurance company in Nigeria, the GT and the like, that were doing all of those wonderful things, Zenith Bank. So the guys knew in terms of automation, they were there. So don't think about how much you're going to be paid now, but ask yourself, this is a great company to be on my CV at 7. You can even take an online, how do you call it, online remote job that don't pay, for maybe LinkedIn or for any organization that you know that they may not pay you. But remember, if you want to learn how to play football, not the American football, after the football we know, you go to Brazil. Or you go to Lagos, or you go to Ghana, right? But you go to Brazil. If you really want to play good football, you need to go to Brazil. That is where you have all the star, they know all the tricks. So you go to the right company for the beginning to be able to provide that early start. So have a clear destination in mind. Start early in a good learning environment, and then the last, which is important, right attitude. So the foundation of good early choices and experience, which is the right attitude. So please, it is important to have the right attitude. Learning and acquiring skill is never-ending process, but critical at the beginning of your career. So most of us, we don't want to learn. We don't want to learn from experienced people. And I'll tell you, I learned most of my consulting work. I still remember this consultant who came to work, but then they were doing due diligence and to be able to buy the company from Nigeria, Mr. Okpe Oreduba. I still remember him to date. He was, and then there was also HR Nigeria. They do actuarial science. They were doing all the books. Mr. Olukene. So these are people who came in a company to do evaluation. And my friends will be laughing at me and they say, "Oh, is the company your father's company? These guys come, they are working, you're doing everything, but you actually do this." And I will live hours with them, learning consulting skills, how to write reports, how to do due diligence, how to analyze reports. So I was an IT guy, but come and see me doing all of that. It came a time when even they are consulting for other companies in Ghana, Mr. Okpe will call me, oh, said I'm coming to do something for enterprise insurance. I'll be in Ghana for three weeks. On weekends, can you do some of my Excel work for me? I want you to do this. Can you come over? I will go do that. And this helped me with my skills. So please, it's important in your career, learn to acquire the skill, and this will pay off. Take the initiative. Learn to over-deliver. This is what most of us don't do. Learn to over-deliver, right? It is critical that you learn to do that, right? Leadership is learning. What else leaders do? Their primary role is to keep learning and to facilitate the learning of those around them. So it's important you look at that, right? If you have, like, take for example, Charles Hexlon said that I have been in business for 36 years. I have learned a lot, and most of it doesn't apply anymore. So it is important, although it won't apply at that time, but it's important to get that. When I stop learning something new, I start talking about the past versus the future I will go. So it is important, Jack Rank. It is very, very important you continue learning. So it's important, all of us in our career, we learn, take initiative, and then learn to over-deliver. Learn to over-deliver. It is important. They are not going to ask, say, oh, who is that guy? They'll say, man, that guy who gave us a good result. We needed an Excel, or we needed this report, this guy delivered before the deadline. This project we are working on a budget because this guy is on top of his game. This guy treats all our clients well. You are not the customer guy. You are just an engineer or a technician. How do you go extra to make sure that the customer, which is the internal customer, the person at the front desk, she received all these calls? Is her email working? Are her phone working, so that she doesn't get frustrated and extend it to the customer, right? In the morning, you come to the office and check, oh, what's happening? How is everything, right? You need to work so hard to make that environment work. Doing the right thing, it is important. And I will tell you, this has cost me some of my job. Doing the right thing. And as an IT person, you see all the dirty thing happening in the company. You can see it from where you sit, right? You see this, and then you see someone is doing cutting corners. Maybe the claims guys are doing that. And then you see it, you keep quiet. I saw that, I sent a report, and I was sent to different department, right? And even at the lower rank, because there were some other people that were involved that they wanted to protect them. So doing the right thing, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be costly. At the same time, it's going to help you a lot to move on, to do what you need to do, right? Effective leadership is a product of having and demonstrating the right attitude. The timelessness characteristics of honesty, integrity, and accountability are what inspire people to trust and follow their leader, not because that this person is their boss, right? Why will you follow somebody around the corner or up a hill, or into a dark room? The reason is trust, Colin Powell. Integrity is the basis of trust, which is not as much as an ingredient of leadership as it is a product. It is the only quality that cannot be acquired, but must be earned. Without it, a leader or a professional cannot function. So it's important. Integrity. Colleagues and friends and brothers and sisters, if we need to excel in whatever we do, the first principle is to have a clear definition. We have to start early in a good environment. And the third is the attitude. How do you behave? You're an insurance agent selling policies. Are you going to oversell that the policy will do A, B, C, D, and you know it doesn't do it, right? And then when there's a claim, they start to read a contract to you that you don't even understand. But you need to be honest. If you won't get the business, you won't get the business. Just tell the person, this is what my product can do. If you go for an interview, you don't have the skill. Let them know you don't have that skill. But this is what you can do. Or you will be able to develop or increase or improve upon that. So it is important you are very, very honest about things you do. Present yourself properly. This is important. It is very, very important as we move along. is very, very important, right? Dress properly, clean, iron clothes, discreet color, shiny shoes with dark color socks is important if you are in the business world. But if you're working remote, you still need to look good, right? You need to put on a nice t-shirts, comb your hair, look nice. Just personal grooming, always well-groomed, haircut, clean, and shaved. I think that's a BYU standard, but I think it's a business standard. If you can do that, we can be fine. So, adequate and polite language, no excessive volume or laughing, no bubble. That is in a doctrine of covenant, we call it light laughter, right? So where people just laugh anyhow, and then just say anything, and then you see you are going for an interview, you see this guy or this lady having a bobby going, chewing gum in the mouth, just chewing, chop, 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 right? You need to look that. You can't do that. Good table manners, most of us, and then most importantly, good and interested listener. You are able to listen to people. And this is the key to a good professional. You are going to meet a mentor. You need to be able to listen to the mentor and be able to and just listen, right? I have this what we call stop, look, and listen. You stop, you look straight into the person's eye, and then you listen to what it can be your son, your wife, or your husband. You need to be a good listener, and that you can take it to your jobs as well. So it is important. So these are the 3 principles we've learned. Clear destination, the learning environment will help you in pursuing your excellence and becoming who you want to become. Thank you very much, and we'll take some questions. And I want to thank each and every one of you. I'm sorry, maybe I rushed through some of the slides, but I will take some questions and comments. We still have about 13 minutes to go, which I can answer some of your questions. And I want to thank each and every one of you that made a time to be on this call, that you will continue to connect. Don't end here. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. I will be able to provide you any counsel that I can and also learn from you. Some of you have a lot of experience that I can learn from as well. So feel free to reach out. Now I will keep quiet and listen. Yeah, Jonah.
Jonah, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for this very enriching highlights that you have shared with us. It's very instructive. However, my question has to do with, in your wide range of experience, your professional experience, where would you say, or what would you say is the implication of empathy in your journey in the business world or in the professional world in general?
Okay. Thank you, Jonah. I think I've managed different teams, and I work in my current role as a global project manager. I work in different culture zones with different background. So one of the things, empathy is important when you lead things. You need to put yourself in people's shoes. For example, someone is waking up. I'm working with a guy in Japan, our developer. He's in Japan. He needs to be up at 2 a.m. just to do some work for me. And I need to put myself in his shoes and understand that, look, it's not all the time I need to demand that for him. I need to be able to understand that and also giving time that, okay, can we do this? And that I will also sacrifice my time, because the time difference will always be different. Sometimes I need to stay up at 11 p.m. to get a call with the team members in Japan, put myself in the shoe that it won't be always, and this will also help you to be able to lead. And this is important in leading multinational teams or teams from different culture. The way they do things will be different. So you need to understand that, and then try to always empathize, put yourself in people's shoes, and be able to create that. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes, we have fun.
Timmy, please unmute yourself.
Tim.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Salt. Really appreciate this opportunity to meet with you, to also learn from you. I want to ask 2 questions, and sorry, it's kind of personal. So I want to no, how do you navigate and overcome self-doubt or obstacles, through your journey?
Wonderful.
The second
Uh,
question.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, are there any specific habit or routine that have contributed to your success so far?
Yes, step back. I will tell you, one of the in my career, my early on in my career, I told you I had to change. I spent all these years studying engineering and hoping to work in engineer, and I have to go back to school and learn IT and all of that. That also, and then I'll be seeing my friends, my mates, all these guys are practicing as engineers, and then I'm in the business world trying to figure it out. But that has been always a motivation to help me. I look at it as, okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn. What did I do wrong from the beginning? What can I do to also support other individuals that won't repeat what I did? Perhaps I just went into engineering without any plan. So, but that as a learning process for me, I always take lessons in that to be able to improve. And the time, even when COVID came, there were a lot of things that happened that personally, job and all of that, I need to re-navigate, learn new things, went to do other programming classes. I did program management. I did monitoring evaluation, all of this to make sure that I'm equipped. Now, another routine, I think that has helped me to get what I am. I'm a person that I read a lot. I don't get people to teach me. I always try to learn something on my own. And if I don't understand, I want to watch the master teacher who knows that. I want to look and also always having a plan. I'm not very comfortable if I don't have something on my calendar. I may forget it, but if I put it on my calendar and I want to do it, I stick to it. And this has helped me in my career and even going to study. And you imagine leaving Africa to study in the United States. The culture is different and everything, but that habit of I always plan. I have a routine of checking my calendar. Even those days, I carry around diaries where they have calendars in that I can mark that a planner. Those help me. When I go to BYU, it was almost everything you have to do. You have to put on a calendar. You have to do this, and that helped me a lot. So this type of routine, always continue learning, trying to learn from your mistake, and always at least I don't go to bed without reading, and I have a lot of energy. And one of the things that make me deflect and my stress is working with the youth. I teach kids robotics every weekend. Even if I travel, I don't do a virtual class. I teach kids, and listening to the kids also give me that opportunity to get to know them and also refresh myself to be able to move forward, because I always learn from them and how difficult things, and the kids will be able to laugh at it and then they overcome. So these are some of the things that helped me throughout my career. Yes, we have
Edwin Effiong.
Yes, go ahead.
Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Seth and BYU management. So quickly, it's interesting that Brother Seth had the opportunity of totally leaving civil engineering, a lucrative endeavor, to learn something else well that he felt more attachment for. He gave us why he left civil engineering. So, Brother Seth, is just for interest, why didn't you look at combining the IT with aspects that will help your civil engineering background? Because it is relatable to me a lot right now.
Okay.
From next semester, next semester in BYU, I'll be. Go ahead, then I can continue.
Yes, I will tell you that my civil engineering never go wasted. Remember, I'm a project manager. Most of the skills I'm using in project management, I got it from my engineering class. I did construction management, I did site management, I did estimation, I did evaluations. So it was completely, I wasn't doing a pure civil engineering work, but how to manage a project, how to manage a gun, how to manage different people. I learned that from my civil engineering class. And then my project that I did for my as a school project thesis was around structures, as drainage system, right? And I need to go interview people, even go to insurance. That is even how I got a job at the insurance company. Was going to interview how do they insure this type of risks for construction firm and all of that, liability and all. So that is what got me. And then when I got there, I did my national survey internship with them. And then I was still doing my engineering, go to the field, but more onto what? Into data collection, analyzing, and then writing a lot of reports. So basically, I didn't throw that all away. And I'll tell you, my own home, I did my structure work. I supervised my work at my building of my home. And it helped me also to make sure that I know what the construction guys are not cheating me in any way. I caught them some time, but they didn't know I was a civil engineer because the calculations they were doing with the mortar and all of that, they say, oh no, we need 200 bags to do this. And I said, bring me the drawing, let's look at it. And then they realized that I knew all of that. So this has some value. And then the beautiful thing about engineering is that if you study engineering, it's easy to divert into another area. You have very good mathematics skills. So you do engineering maths, you do all the calculus, integrations, and all of that. And did also prepare you to move to do, remember, you can do hard things as an engineer. So that is how I saw my engineering never went waste. I still use it in my career to date.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Yeah, we'll have Fortune. After Fortune, we will now invite Kate, who will present a pool for us to participate in. Fortune, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, Michael, we're going to do that survey later. Let's keep with the questions.
Okay.
Since are we recording this? Since we didn't record it, did we?
We are.
Yeah, we are recording.
Okay.
It's recorded.
Okay. Yes, Fortune.
Fortune, go ahead with your question.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Seth. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother.
Good. I'm fortunate from Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for inspiring us. So, my question is, from your experience, how have you been able to work and overcome, like economic challenges where you have probably things like the highest inflation and where there is high unemployment rates, and then so you're trying to do something, but then the environment that you're talking about is kind of against you and even others that you want to encourage. So would you have some thoughts to share on that?
Yeah, thank you so much, Fulton. I have very good friends in Zimbabwe, worship and the rest. Yeah, one of the things, I told you I was a refugee. There's one thing I didn't talk about. That is my grandmother, right? I had a grandmother who never went to school. She has never been in a classroom. But there's one thing my grandmother taught me, which is still with me, is hard work and then learning to live within your means. And then she also taught us to sell. All my entrepreneurial mind is my grandmother, my grandmother from my mother's side in Liberia. Now, when we were refugees, we live in, before we were displaced in Liberia itself, when the war started, we displaced. And I will tell you that my grandmother taught us how to do guiding. So we had cabbage, lettuce, and all of that. And then that is what we produce. We have a big compound. Every child has a bed, right, on the farm where you have to water in the morning and get it. And that helped us to be able to sell that to the community. We sell cabbage in the morning. Early morning, you see a lot of people come for cabbage, color grain. In Nigeria, you call it water leaf or whatsoever. They come in the morning and then we will sell that. And then we water. Then in the evening, another set of people will come for garden eggs, right? And then if we don't have people coming, our grandmother will ask us to go. We have a big street. We have those things. And that helped us to be able to overcome those challenges. Now, when we became refugees, it even helped us so much easy because we already knew how to do those hard things. And then I will tell you, when we came to Ghana, my grandfather, who has left Ghana, he had all these resources. And then, but when the war came, he didn't take anything home. And when we came, we had to stay in the village, a typical village, as we still call the place Africa today. I was there over the weekend to do some work with the students there. And we have to go to farm early in the morning, and then and carry cocoa, the cocoa bean to town before we go to class. And then in the evening, we'll go fetch water. But it was easy. It was easy for us because we have already learned how to do difficult things. Other kids who might have come from the city in Accra, I don't think they would have been able to do that. And I will tell you, that helped me to do very well at school. And with economic situation, you just need to have multiple skills. Do not just say, okay, I'm an engineer, I don't have a job, or the economy is bad. Put your engineering degree aside. What can you do? Which skill can you do that can fetch you to be able to take care of yourself immediately? It could be a security job. It could be just washing a car for someone, or there are a lot of people, or going to a store where they need your skill. You can go, you are good at Excel. Somebody needs someone to do that. So, and through that, people will get to look at your skill and say, oh, this guy, you are overqualified for this job. But I think you've been doing it so well that we think you should be here permanently, right? And that is something that that is the advice I will give you. Do not look at the situation and say, oh, because the environment is so bad, I can't. Then you just throw your hands in the sky and say, wow. Then you start to sing nearer my God today. But you need to say, press on, let us press on. I will press on no matter how. And then take advantage of remote work, right? Get skills that your country may not need you, but other country will need you. I don't want to sound like boastful, but I'm doing a global job. I live in Ghana. I can't remember the last time I drove in the traffic. If I'm going out, that means leaving a country to another country, right? But I stay in my home. But because what? Over the years of preparation, working in insurance, in IT, international development, volunteering, my IT skill was sharpened a lot in the church when I was a STIC technology specialist. I learned everything. When it comes to technology that I have, the skill I have, it was my calling as a STIC technology specialist, because I work with all the ICS guys. And those days, the church have what we call wiki. There's a whole wiki you can learn different technology from. And that enhanced my potential. And then it's because I didn't have an IT degree. So I did a lot of certification. That is why when the Nigerians took over from the company, within 2 months, I was called as an IT manager, because I have all the Cisco certification, I have all the Microsoft certification, right? Because I knew I didn't have an IT degree. I can't call myself an IT guy at that time. But what advantage? The company provided training. The IT guys, they feel that they have IT, they won't go. I will be sent for those training. I attend every opportunity to get extra skills. And then volunteering on Saturday, putting network, moving from meeting house to meeting house. If there's a state conference coming up, I'm setting up all the gadgets. These were skills that I built volunteering. And then mobile app, how to create app. And then when the company was taken over and they saw, oh, this guy shouldn't be, he should be the IT manager. He should, and they pay for my degree. They pay for me to go do degree, right? So you need to don't look at just one thing. Today, your economy is bad, but you should be able to look at what are the skills do I need today? A global skill. And I know the last two webinars we talk about how to do remote jobs. How do you get remote job that you can be paid? So a company in Ghana can pay you for your job, for a skill in Zimbabwe. I have a guy in Zimbabwe who did internship with us, right? Worship. So it does not, I always tell my students or my colleagues or my young single adult or my youth that do not think about the Ghanaian market. Nigeria is a 250 million market. If you can get just 5 million of the Nigerians to even sell pure water to, you imagine how much. If it's 1 naira, 1 naira times 5 million, how much naira is that? Michael, plenty naira, right? But
Yes.
we are not looking at that. We are looking at, I want to put on a nice tie, sit in an office, and be forgetting to know that there are little things. Zimbabwe, agriculture is huge. There are still some people in Zimbabwe right now who has to order this. The parents, the children are in abroad, they send money to them to go buy food. There are a lot of old people in Zimbabwe that at home cannot move to the market to get food. Have you thought of that? Going from house to house, say, oh, I can buy food and deliver, and then you pay me X amount. Before you know, you have a supply, a delivery service, which people can pay you and pay you under the counter without any tax. You collect it and you're gone, right? So you look at all of those things. So you need to think outside the box. Do not prepare the BYU skill, the online program, the pathway. It is not prepare you only for the Zimbabwe market. It is the global market. Become a full stack developer that Microsoft in Silicon Valley will say, no, I need Fortune to work for me because he has ABC skills. And I can get him to work for me. So that is what I will leave with you. Don't
Thank you.
have, I tell people, don't have pity on yourself. I remember I've been a refugee. I've gone days without food. I've lived in a place where there are bullets and rockets shooting, right? But the Lord has preserved me to this time for a reason. So I take advantage of every moment. I don't pity myself. If something happens bad to me, I say, well, what can I learn from that? And I move on. So these are things, and with the gospel and with all the network, now you have all this network through the BYU Management Society, through Skype, through all the programs the church run in Pathway. You have all the resources that you can reach out to. Have you even think of teaching English remotely to students in Asia or in China? Instead of using just your LinkedIn, you look for students who want to learn English, right?
Yeah.
And you can do that in the comfort with your internet, in your comfort of your house. You can set up and teach English or other skills that other people would need, right? So you need to always think outside the box. And then with prayer, with hard work, remember the Lord will surely bless you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seth, for this powerful presentation. The BYU Management Society and Scale Foundation, we are grateful for this presentation. So can each and every one of us give Seth a big hug for this wonderful presentation? Thank you. Thank you. And we also thank you for attending. We hope you make our time to attend our webinar. Thank you.
So are we doing a group picture?
Okay. Yeah, I think yes, let's do that.
Hey, I've seen some people I know, Joseph, Anani. Hey, I've not seen you in years. Okay.
Yes, yes. I've been around. It's a bigger son.
Hey, I can see Regina, my dearest friend over there. Okay, since I know everybody here now.
Sure. Let's turn our camera so that we can take a group picture.
Okay, let's put on your camera and then we'll take a group picture. Because Kate would never allow us to go without a picture.
That's right. That's right. If you're there, turn on your camera. We want to see you. It's always fun to end, even just for a minute, to see that there's actually people there. And it just fills our heart to see you. Seth, thank you so much for your presentation. That was wonderful.
Okay. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Fabulous, Seth. Very powerful.
Thank you. I'm humble. I want to be like you at Arupa when I grow up.
Don't we all? We're all trying, you know?
We're all trying.
That's why he's mentoring us all.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. As I said.
Okay, I can take it. 1, 2, 3, everyone smile. Perfect. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Night. Bye.
Night. Bye.
I'm saying, man, this guy. I thought they say lectures. Hi. You, this guy. See your face. How are you? Where you doing? I'm not fine. Hey.